Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. You walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
Hey, wake up, wake up. Oh, you know there is no sleeping up in here. I am so happy to be here today, Wednesday, middle of the week. Some people refer to it as hump day. I just tell you what it is to me is just another blessed day. That's what it is. And it's Wednesday. And have I got a show for you? Get ready. For real, you might want to call the people you care about the most, because if they find out you knew about this and you didn't tell them about it, something's going to go down. Trust me. Reverend Mary Martin is here, and she is way on the other side of the world, pretty much. Wait till you hear this story today. Trust me, I've got something really special in store for you. Before we get going there, though, where are my manners? Good morning, beautiful people. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. And I want you to know that I am so honored that you're here today and every day, and all those that catch the replay, same for you. Because together, when we do this, when we sit and we acknowledge each other and we bounce ideas and thoughts and all those things that pour back and forth between us. We enact one of the greatest promises available, the one that guarantees us that where two or more comes together. That's all it takes. 1, 2. So, spiritual magic, that's what it's about. So I'm so glad you're here. And if you agree, can I get an amen? Drop it in the comments, won't you please? Because that's the beauty of fellowship and agreement. Amen, amen, and amen. Boy, look, she ain't even out here yet, and Reverend Mary got me pulling. I might as well just get on up and do an A and B selection, right? I got the whole church service going. Reverend Mary will bring the best out in you. Now, one quick announcement before we get going with today's guest. The month of November, you guys, the month of November, all month is National Adoption Month. And many of you know, if not, you're about to. I am an adoptee. And boy, I really, really cannot stress how important it is that if you or someone you know has the capacity to perhaps offer fostering to a worthy kid. In the United States alone, right now, currently, over 400,000 children are languishing within the foster care system. And when I was in there, and I still refer to it, unfortunately, I refer to it, it's pretty much an underground roulette wheel, a world of all kinds of different things. And not all kids will do better when they have permanent homes. So we want to help. Along the screen you see scrolling, adoptuskids.org. It's a great place to start if you want to find out more about National Adoption Month and how you might be able to provide a permanent home. So, Reverend Mary, one thing you better not do, better not call a girl. I'm going to tell you that. You better not call a girl. Reverend Mary, she's a retired pastor. She's an educator, an entrepreneur, human rights activist, and I really want to talk to her. I'm so excited about that part. She's also an author who currently resides in Central America. Her greatest achievement, she says, is that she's a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. And hold on, there's more. Aw. Anyway, I'll get to that. I just saw something I wanted to, and she's also a great grandmother. Okay. So her monologue, Stop Calling Me Girl. Say it again. I wish you would call me girl again. Anyway, has many humorous but serious personal anecdotes and revealing latent societal tendencies to label women, including professional, strong, intelligent, and independent women, as girls, which doom relationships to failure and quenches the creative assets girls and women desire and must bring to the table for the good of all. So I'm going to leave it at that and get her in here. Let me turn off the banner because I hope you have written down and captured that. I will drop adoptuskids.org, the link inside the comment section at the conclusion of today's broadcast for those of you who didn't write it down. Okay, so here she comes, first timer. Get ready to be truly poured into. I mean that. Reverend Mary Martin on the way. Put some hearts on the screen, won't you please? Oh, how are you, Reverend Mary Martin?
Well, good morning. Hello, Dr. Lauren.
Hello.
I love that you provide a space for healing, growth, and lots of love.
I do. Thank you.
You do.
And I say the same regarding you. Oh, and you know, I just had an idea. I only have one promo today. And instead of doing it in the middle of the show, I'm just going to do it right now because something tells me that once this boat leaves the dock, we're not going to want to stop and go anywhere until the very end. And it's really quick. And let me just say this, you guys, today I'm so proud. I'm not kidding you. I'm so proud. On Trajectory TV, we pride ourselves in providing a platform of higher opportunity for content that deserves, all eyes on it. Seriously. And my hope for this network is that not one, not two, but eventually all of the show hosts and their content gets picked up by greater opportunities, i.e. network television, wherever, so that their message can find a broader audience. And so I'm so excited about a new show that premieres today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find it all over, just Google, but also there is a Facebook show page for Working It Out Across generations. It's a mother and son duo, and they specialize in conflict resolution. So without further ado, I just want to show you what's coming up today, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I hope I will provide the link to that show to you as well. Please check it out. Here it is. Dr. Lynn Hurdle and her son, Justin Hurdle, who, by the way, is an adoptee as well. Yes, we're links in a chain. Oh, you playing it on something? Okay, Reverend Mary, go with your techie self. Look, I saw you backstage getting your little groove on. Oh, you playing it on something? Okay, Reverend Mary, go with your techie self. How do I hear myself coming back? I saw you backstage getting your little groove on. Reverend Mary.
Yes, I'll take you off.
Oh, see, she knows.
Yes, I was grooving.
Yes. Oh, you did take it off. Okay, let's get started. So you are in Central America.
Yes, I'm in beautiful Antigua, Guatemala. I'm just south of Texas. I'm not too far from the U.S. We are in the same hemisphere.
Well, shows how much I know. Well, but you know what, though? It just sounds like some exotic jungle.
I do live in a jungle.
See? So there it is. Now, because I'm going to tell you, I was the kid who loved to read. And I loved stories that took you places like where you live. So I find it very adventurous and exciting. But before we get into where you're at today, let's talk about, if we could, a little bit of, well, first, let's do this, because you have so much and we're no way we can cover it in an hour. So I want to give you a minute to create your own relationship, your own vibe, if you will, with the viewers. And I'm going to dip out for about 60 seconds and just speak from your heart. You know, open up the pistachio, if you will, so we'll know what we're going to be nibbling on for the next. You set the tone for us, if you will, and then I'll come back in and we'll get officially started. Does that sound okay?
Great.
Okay, all you take it away, Reverend Mary.
Here's the pistachio. Greetings. I'm a USA citizen. I currently live in beautiful Antigua, Guatemala, Central America. I can't say that enough. Through my business, Catch the Vision Now, I'm dedicated to leading seekers to walk into their beauty, talent, and giftedness. I facilitate inspiration, motivation, and pure love by opening the door to positive change with these questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Does it even matter that I exist? I've published multiple books covering topics such as empowerment, personal growth, human rights, and fulfillment. As a public speaker, I deliver presentations to various audiences, sharing my insights and stories with passion and humor. Through Vision Quest, I take individuals and partners on a one-time, 1 hour live in-person or video session that is non-threatening, non-religious, and painless. For decades, this life changer has helped countless others to catch the vision now. Thank you for being here.
Dang, Reverend Mary. That's as close as I'm going to get to cussing today, by the way. So if you were hoping I'd slip up, not going to happen. So, no, but you had that ready to go like you knew I was going to give you that time to do that. I mean, you just went right to it. You're a true
Well, I
professional.
can't say that you're predictable, but sometimes.
Wow. No, you're prepared. That's the prepared. It ain't got nothing to do with predictable. I'm telling you, you're prepared. And that's a great place for us to start. That's a great, you know why? Because when people are prepared, it's just another way of knowing that they are striving to be great stewards. You know, we start off as good stewards, and your goal is to become an even greater steward. So one day when you leave this world, what is greater than will say, hey, look who's coming. One of my greatest. See? And so I'm so excited. So listen, how did you start in life? What was it you said, I am going to be a blank when I grow up?
Wow. You said you can't do it all in an hour. That's a story that can't be done in an hour.
Oh, just that one, huh? Well, what did you think you'd be doing? Is this what you thought you'd be doing when you were a kid?
I think as a child, something was different. One of my uncles would visit us. His name was Terry, and he lived in D.C. and came to visit us in Pittsburgh, a house with 7 children. And he would ask, of course, all of us, how are you doing? And he asked me, I think I was about 11 or 12. I said, I'm going through a complete metamorphosis. And he often told that story. I used to have dreams that I would not share with people. And when I did share, I was told to stop it.
By whom?
Parents, relatives.
Really?
The church.
So, okay, wait. So when you say dreams, like, ooh, I dream of being or, ooh, you won't believe the dream I had last night. Which one?
This one was a reoccurring dream that I will share.
A nocturnal dream?
Yes.
Okay,
I
okay,
remember it as early as the age of 8.
Okay.
I didn't like the dream, but I was powerless to wake up during the dream.
Ooh, tell us.
I will. I was a peasant girl in the village of Troy. Troy, I was told, was a fictitious place and a figment of Homer's imagination. But for me, it was a real place. I had a job just like every other person in the village. We lived outside of the great city walls of the city named Troy. All of us had jobs. My job as a little one was to get water from the common well, which was inside the city walls. At an appointed time, twice a day, I would walk with the youngers as well as some olders with our clay pots. And I remember bare feet and I remember sand in the heat of the day, carrying my clay pots. When the gates would open, we would enter, and the well was right there where we could draw our water. It would be at this time that the royal procession, would make its way from one place to the other. And I would stop and watch as these people were being carried by servants, slaves, who would carry the litters on their, and I learned that it was called a litter. I didn't have the vocabulary then. Mm-hmm. They would carry them sticks on their shoulders with the royal person inside, and there would be veils covering. But I could see an opening of one of them was a girl, probably around my age. And I saw that she was, first of all, clean. She looked dignified. She was surrounded by beautiful stuff. She was comfortable, surrounded by big cushions, I remember. And she would look straight ahead. And when they passed me, she would turn her head slightly and look at me and then turn her face forward again. I would wonder with my pot, wondering why is it that just because she happened to be born inside the city walls, that she had everything, education, quality life, purity, dignity, and because I and we had been born outside of the city walls, we were reduced to this servanthood. And then a gong or something would sound, and it would be our signal that it would be time to leave. As we all left, the big gate, the big wooden thing closed behind us. But I could hear in the distance, and it sounded like hoofbeats coming. Then I could see dust rising. I knew what was going to happen, but I couldn't do anything about it. I stood there frozen as barbarians of some type on horseback came through my little village. You see, my village served those inside the city walls. We did the work. We grew everything imaginable. We made, the artisans made things that were beautiful. Clay pots were made. All that was taken from us because it was supposed to be in tribute. And there was tribute for everything, special days, holidays, birthdays of those people inside. And we only had a meager existence. So as I watched these men on horseback come in, they had swords and they would bend over and chop all of the people they passed by. I could see my people running, screaming.
Oh my goodness.
There was no place to go. And at the end of this, they got off their mounts and went in to huts, to our homes, to find anyone who was still alive. It didn't matter who or how young. And they would finish them off.
Oh.
I had nothing to do, nowhere to go. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was frozen, as I said. But I watched one old man who was close to me because, you see, they began to come towards us. I watched as this man, I said, I'll watch him because I'll follow and I'm going to do whatever he does. I watched him as he put his clay pot down. He had a knife in his belt. He took the knife out of his belt and he stabbed himself in the chest. And I thought, well, I shouldn't be wasting my time watching him.
Right.
But I continued to watch as he lay down. And then I realized this is a wise old man. Because when the barbarians, when these men screaming obscenities came to us, they looked at him, grunted, and walked by. So I had already knew that I'm going to follow his lead, but I'm not going to make the mess he made. I'm going to lie down. And I'm going to pretend to be dead, which is what I did. They passed him and others who they finished off. They came to me, and I would wake up suddenly as a knife was going through my back.
Oh, that is not the ending I was predicting. Okay, keep going.
I told some people this. One aunt, Ellen, who was had a master's degree in social work, who lived in Philadelphia, she told me that it could possibly have to do with reincarnation. She said, you know some things that you shouldn't have known, but you really shouldn't talk about it. My mother told me that it was from the devil. I went to
that sounds familiar. Go ahead.
I was younger now. Oh, And I knew out of that dream that my first child's name would be Troy. I knew that from the time I was at least 8 years old.
And did that happen?
Yes, my daughter Troy is beautiful.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
and there's a story about her, and that story is told in my book. I didn't know how I would have that daughter. Uh, it's a tremendous story, life-changing story.
Wow.
I happened to be in Canada, in Toronto, for a banquet given by the Full Gospel Businessmen Association.
Mm-hmm.
And after they talked, there was a break. The people at my table, 8 of us, only 2 women. The other was Nancy Finney of Toronto. Uh, I learned later that was her name. While people were gone taking their break, our topic of those people at the table turned to dreams.
Mm.
And I felt the need to say, I felt led to say, I have a dream. And then they all wanted to know the dream. And I shared it with them just like I shared it with you all. When I finished, every one of the men shook their heads and shrugged their shoulders. I don't know what that means. Nancy Finney looked at me, her eyes glistening with a big smile, and she said, I know what it means.
Mm.
All eyes turned to Nancy.
I know they
She
did.
said, that man was saved by the blood of the Lamb. You tried to be saved without it. And as for that royal person, that girl who made eye contact with you, don't you know you are just as royal as she is? Walk into your beauty, walk into your stature. No more will you be treated as servant. No more are you a slave.
Mm. Wow. Man, you must have been asleep for 3 weeks for that dream to go all, because my dreams, I only remember like the last minute. I don't know. But that was, and you kept having this over and over and over.
Except after that time, I never had it again.
After Nancy Finnegy?
Correct.
I believe you, because I know I had a big dream thing in my life and changed my life. Absolutely did. So, okay. So let's go here. Let's go here. So one of the things that I love first and most about that story is that it proves that it's again and again. It's never about just one thing. And you see how it just, that thing was like being on the Matterhorn, that story, going around those curves. And I was like, I know what's going to happen. Oh, Lord. Oh, you know, right. And that is what is greater than us keeping our journey interesting. And I just love it. So why do you think so what today, the Reverend Mary Martin of today, a lot of time has gone by since that revelation with Mary Finnegan, right? So
With Nancy Finney,
Nancy
yes.
Finnegan. Yeah, you're
I
married.
am now 73 years old.
And you were how old when that happened?
I think 28.
So what do you think the dream means today?
That was when I caught the vision of who I am.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the name of Caught the Vision, right? Clever. And so, okay. Oh, man, I'm trying to figure out where to pivot to because I got a bunch of stuff written down that I want to. Let's go here because I love you, because every time I am listening to you, it's like I'm sitting at the feet of.
And sitting at the feet, you're going to say wise woman, perhaps? I don't know, but I have been certified. I have a certificate that says I am a wise old woman since I became postmenopausal. A group of women, a few women, came to me to ask me if I understood what the word crone meant. And they explained the word crone. And it is now a movement of women who are reclaiming that word that had come to mean a washed up, old, used up hag, which is
Ooh,
far from the truth. The word crone means crown.
I know the story. I love this story. An old, washed up old hag. Man. Okay, wait a minute. So I was saying before the internet did its thing, and I think hopefully I put it in its place. We shall see. Let me ask you something. What I was saying is what I love about when you're telling your stories, I feel like I'm sitting at the feet of the adventure. I don't, it's like you disappear and I go into, just like when I was a kid and would read a book. It's like you part some kind of a veil when you go. I really love that about you, Reverend Mary. Um, and you feel like an explorer, you feel like a missionary to me, you feel like an oracle to me, you feel like an academic to me. You just so many wonderful things. So I want to let's shift over to this one, the book. Stop in the line. It's really that phrase. That's what everyone jumps on. Stop calling me girl. I mean, because when you read the words, you can. I think all of us hears a different tone to the way they think it was spoken. I want to hear you say it the way it was meant on the cover of your book. Stop calling me girl.
It's over. I've had it. Stop calling me girl.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to those in my community as a child who would belittle me, and not only just me, other children who would not encourage us to grow to be all we could be. Even in the school I was bused to, all of my teachers were white. All of my education was Eurocentric. Our teachers did not like us. All of our monies from that community that we lived in, the Black community, was the tax money was sent to enrich the white community where we were forced to go by bus. I was told that I was not college material. I was told that this is the level I would always be. I was not offered advanced classes. As I grew, I was even told that because you're a woman, even later, that if a man wants to rape you, the police said, let him, because it would be better for you to be raped and live than to fight and die. Well, I was raped and I fought, and he died.
What?
In
Wait,
school,
wait. Did you just really say that?
I did. It's in my book. I don't want to give it all
I
away.
trust me. I don't want you to. I want to read it in there myself, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like another old person thing happening to me, like my hearing just suddenly went. Um, wow. Okay. Whew. Whew. Breathe, Lauren. Breathe. Go on.
Also, when I would express something that I didn't like, I didn't understand, I would be told by my elders with a pat on the head, you just don't understand. One day you will. Always treated as a child, even in the seminary. Here, I call it the seminary, not seminary, where I was trained. I also was in the school. I received a Bachelor of Theology degree, another masculine term. These places did not equip women, did not allow women to serve as pastors, as clergy. We could be missionaries, we could be educators, but we could not teach or preach to the men.
Mm.
I would often have debates because I would be the only one to question something that was discussed in class, theological. And uh, again, I would be put down and told I just didn't understand, actually, to be quiet and to know my place. That happened in marriage as well. I could go on and on.
Look, okay, because I'm going to prove it right here. That's probably in the book too. This whole thing about that, because look, I was going to ask you next. Complete this sentence. A woman's place is, and then there was a
I'm
line.
not going to say it.
You're
A
not.
woman's place is wherever she wants it to be.
So, okay, so what was happening? Let's put it like this. Okay, let's do this. Let's play a little game. So, while you're hearing those things that you just described, right? Let's imagine you're a pot on a stove. And when they first started saying this to you, the pot was just sitting there, just like they just laid it on the stove. How long did it take? At what point of what we just heard was that pot at a rolling boil? When was it just you know what I mean? Because you obviously had to endure the entire thing. But what was going on inside as you saw? Is this for real? Kind of thing. That thing. What did it do to you?
There were times, 2 times in particular, when I felt suicidal. And at one time, I did I did attempt with my father's pain pills. And in fact, I was pregnant with Troy.
Oh.
And I just wanted to
Did you know
take
you
us
were
out of
pregnant?
here.
Did you know you were pregnant?
Yes, I knew I was pregnant. I received no help. I received no support. I was 17 years old. I could not graduate with my twin brother in our class in school. And so I
had a baby when you were 17.
I had turned 18 by then.
By then. Okay.
And I wanted to simply get out and go to a place where there was peace. It was out of no malice.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to protect me and my child, who I was told would be a bastard. And a bastard, I learned, was a child who didn't have a father. And all children have fathers.
Right.
It made no sense to me. But I persisted. I was belligerent in not wanting to have an illegal abortion, which I could have. One was offered even by a doctor when I was in the hospital after this stint. It was during that time I had an outer body experience, and that's the reason I'm still here.
Ooh, do tell. I need some Orville Redenbacher. This is so good. For real. Okay, go ahead. I don't want to miss any. Go.
I took these pills after I had put a pretty dress on, pretty shoes. My plan was to simply lie down in my bed and die and go. Take my daughter, Troy. I didn't know a girl at the time, but my baby, Troy, and I would go. And but when I took one of the last pills, we call them horse pills for pain, and they were just kept in the medicine cabinet in those days, I threw up because I guess my body said that's enough. But I hurt my throat. And when that pain came, which I didn't plan on, I walked downstairs. My mother greeted me or met me there, and she looked at me dressed up like this was like 6 o'clock at night. And she said, "What did you do?" And all I could do was go, And the doctor she called, he said I was just leaving the office, but I will wait. And my sister and I went to the doctor's office. Janet's 2 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
And we arrived at the doctor's office. His lights were off. He had a flashlight, and he just looked down my throat. He didn't take my pulse, my temperature, my blood pressure, just looking down my throat. He didn't see my eyes. And he said, "You strained your throat," and gave me a prescription. In the ambulance is coming because my sister and I walked to the drugstore, and I started to feel light. I knew the effects of the medication was working, and I was happy about that. I didn't tell anyone. And when we walked to the drugstore, the pharmacy was right in the back.
Mhm.
We walked to the pharmacist, handed him the prescription, and that's when I left, I thought.
Uh-huh.
I was on the stretcher and I smoothed my dress because I wanted to look decent. My sister said, "You didn't smooth anything. You were unconscious." We
Mm.
were in the ambulance. I heard them badgering my sister, who was very quiet. She's more quiet than I, more soft spoken than I, if you can imagine.
Mm.
And they were badgering Janet, demanding to know what drugs I took because they knew we took drugs. These were all white folks around us at every profession.
What year was
And
this, by the way?
pardon?
What year was this?
Pittsburgh.
No,
Pittsburgh.
what year? What year?
Oh, 1967.
Wow, okay.
And my sister was crying and I screamed, "She doesn't know anything. We don't, she doesn't do drugs, leave her alone." She said to me later again, "You didn't say anything, you were unconscious." I was in the hospital on a bed, whatever, and I knew that my mother had arrived with the bottle of pills. There were still some left in from the bathroom.
Mm.
And I know that a tube was put down my throat. I was fighting because it hurt so badly. I was trying to pull it out. I learned that I did not pull it out. I was unconscious. And I didn't feel a thing,
Mm.
but I did feel it. And I knew what was happening. And then I was in the hospital room in a bed. I remember the colors. I remember the metal bed. I remember the white nurse who's sitting next to me
Mm.
on a chair, a metal chair, reading her book. A white cap, and her uniform. And she would put her book down from time to time, check my vitals, and then she would write those down and then go back to reading. She stood over me at one point. She looked down and her tear fell on my face. It was warm.
Mm.
And she said, "There's nothing that could have happened that you deserve to die for." And I
Aw.
started to listen to her. And she said, "You need to live." And she said some other things. And she held my hand. She put her hand on top of my hand. And then she said, the dumbest thing I ever heard: "You're too pretty to die." And my thought was anger. If I could be ugly and happy and safe and peaceful, I would live. And it was then I was gone and I was standing next to Jesus because Jesus was my frame of reference. We didn't speak, but we communicated instantly.
Mm.
I looked, he was on my left. I looked and saw beautiful, beautiful white gate that I had read about, pearly and huge, and it opened ever so slowly. And on the inside, there were beings who had come to greet me, and I knew all of them. There were throngs of them. There were even animals, my pets. My There's an Afghan hound which stood majestically, and I learned later that seems that Afghans are so called the dumbest dogs in the world. But I said, isn't it like God to put an Afghan hound right in the front,
Mm-hmm.
all majestic? And I even saw a little girl run laughing with her hand like this. And I recognized her as someone who had died, someone who was close to me.
Mm.
And I said, "Okay, Jesus, send me in." And not
Put me
speaking,
in,
but
coach.
Jesus said, "It's your choice." And I said, "Well, no, send me in. It's your choice. That's not
Oh.
fair. Send me in." And I looked at him.
Mm.
"Come on, send me in." And I looked at this throng, this beauty, and I understood then that everything here is just an inkling of what's to come. I live in a beautiful place with surrounded by flowers, greenery.
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's serene, but there everything talked, everything moved, everything was alive. Even the grass made music, made sounds. This is life. This is what it's all about. And the people loved me with a pure love.
That really
And
happened.
I said, "You're not going to send me in." No. I was actually reminded that you chose to come into that life with my twin brother. And I said at that time, then, I will go back. And I looked at Jesus and I was a bit perturbed. I was angry. And I said, I'll go back, not for you,
Ah!
but for them.
Oh.
Because I felt this pure love, and they were here to greet one who had run, who did not fulfill my work.
Mm.
And I wanted them to receive me in victory.
Mm.
And at that point, I saw at the entrance of my door from my bed
Mm-hmm.
Men in white coats talking. They were interns or residents, and the older man, all white, of course, uh, asked me as they walked to me, because I startled them,
Mm.
because I couldn't hear what they were saying. I was told, I heard in my spirit, if you want to hear them, you have to wake up. And I opened my eyes, and that startled them. And the doctor said, the oldest one said, "Your name. Do you know your name? You know the date? Do you know why you're here?" I was totally coherent,
Mm.
which surprised them. They each asked me questions, and this little one, small man in the back, came forward at the end, and he said, "Would you like to see your face?" I said, "Yes." And the mirror at the tray table was open. I had boils all over my face.
Boils.
They didn't understand, but I understood. Well, the doctor explained that the poison, but that they were waiting to see what happened, that my body had rejected it and it came out in that form.
Oh.
And
Like your
they
body
lanced.
purged it.
Yes, my body did. Because that's why the nurse was there with me, just waiting to see. I was either going to live or I was going to die. And I got the message because I had said to Jesus, if I was ugly, I would live. And I was ugly that day.
Oh. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Ooh wee. Reverend
And the
Mary.
doctor said, "Do you know you're pregnant?" I said, "Yes." It was difficult to say.
Yeah.
And he said, I will give you an abortion. And I said, "No." And with that, they turned around. I was discharged the next morning, I believe, uh, with nothing. And that pregnancy, my beautiful daughter, is the product of a rape.
Mm-hmm. Of the rape. Oh my goodness. Um, that's interesting.
And I told everyone, and I tried to kill him. I didn't kill him. But a couple of years later, he died in a jail cell by hanging. And he was one of the last two. Well, he was one of the last two in the U.S. to die by hanging in a jail before the government removed belts and shoelaces.
Wow. Reverend Mary. So, oh my goodness.
Will you
Woo!
ask?
Girl, for real. I was sitting here. Oh my goodness gracious. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you something too. When you were describing the out of body experience, her eyes are closed, and so many of the spots, your eyes were closed, and I know that thing, because it's like you go there, and it's like you were there. I know that thing. Wow, the book, um, the book. I just got to show everybody because I have Amazon pulled up, and you guys see, you got to get over and get this on Amazon. I'm going to follow you right there. I will shoot, not right now because I don't want to do all that stuff right here with you guys. But here it is. Um, I'm going to go home right here. There's the book. Um, is this your only book? No,
No, I have three.
you have three. Can you briefly
There it
tell us?
is. It's the one down below. There it is.
Yes.
That one.
This one here. Wow, there are real people behind your assumptions. Wow. So, can you tell you guys, excuse me, I'm going to drop this link inside the comment section at the conclusion for you. Hopefully that will help you get over and get your copy. I know you want it. Wow. So, what are you doing today? We've got about 6 minutes left. Tell us, what are you doing today? What's on Reverend Mary Martin's plate right now?
Today, I'm going to have brunch. It's just almost 9 o'clock here. And then I'm going to walk for about an hour around beautiful Antigua, Guatemala. I'm going to see what's in store. I'm going to be open to whomever I meet, whoever I greet, whatever comes into or drops into my spirit, then I will know the next step. My days are, I like to use the word free. And I like life that way. I allow great magical things to happen.
Oh my goodness. Oh, if I was standing there next to you, I'd say, touch me.
Oh,
Let some of it rub. I see you. Let me just say this as we prep to get out of here today, and you definitely are coming back on this show. I'll tell you that much. I hope. Listening to your stories took me back to when I was a boy, well before the trauma entered. And when we would sit in class, when you're so little, like kindergarten, first grade, even younger, where you sit at the in Indian style on the floor in that semicircle, and the storyteller is telling you the story, and you can't wait for them to turn the book around and show you the pictures. And I was always excited because the pictures in the book never matched. They were nowhere near as exciting as the pictures that the storyteller had painted on my spirit. And that happened to me today, listening to you. It was truly an anointed experience. And you're the kind of person, I mean this, Reverend Mary, you're the kind of person, if one is to just arbitrarily encounter you and move on and not know if they're ever going to see you again, I'm telling you what I know. Many have thought back or looked over their shoulder, literally and figuratively, looking to see if you were still there because something inside says, I wonder if that lady was a real angel. I mean that. I think that's a real thing. I bet you one day you're going to be shown just how many times those words came out of someone's mouth after experiencing you. It's just an incredible thing. What would you say would be something surprising that people might not expect from Reverend Mary Martin? Something that people go, "What? You?" That kind of thing. In other words, give us a little scandal. Well, not like there hasn't been enough. I'm just, well, you know what I mean. Like I like to eat a pound of chocolate on Christmas morning. I don't know, but what is it? What would that thing be where you go, you know what? You might not believe this, but I play rugby football.
There are those who know me well who would refer to me not as Reverend Mary, but Irreverent Mary.
Mm.
And I love to bust dogmas, like girl. I like I tell people I sing, I dance, and I fly in my sleep.
Mm. Do you really?
I sang at a very popular place called the Snug here in Antigua, Monday night.
You do?
And it's a bar.
Oh, okay. So, Reverend Mary, holiday season. Last question. Holiday season. What's it like? The holiday. What's your favorite part about Christmas? Or the holidays in general?
That's another dogma. So that'll take an hour for me to discuss.
Oh, never mind. Well, I will say this right there, catchthevisionnow.com. I'm going to put that in the comment section for everybody. And there it is, facebook.com regarding Mary Martin. It's not R-E-B, but R-E, Mary Martin. And also, I'll drop all of these, including the Amazon link, so you can get your copy of the book. You barely scratched the surface today with even just how much you poured into us. There's so much more to be poured into when you get this book. Reverend Mary, and if any of you watching have your own television shows, your own podcast, get her on. I watched a handful of prior interviews with Reverend Mary, and no two were the same. No two. She is just a plethora of nuggets and gold and experience and wisdom and story and adventure. And I just absolutely adore you. Thank you so much for honoring us today. And I can't wait for you to come back.
Thank you. Thank you all. It was my honor, my pleasure. And all of my friends, all of those who have something to say need to be on your program.
Oh, we'll send them on, because if they're anything like you, you got it. I'm telling you, thank you so much. Listen, and for all of you out there, thank you as well. I couldn't do it without you, nor would I want to. Listen, tomorrow I'll be back, God willing, and I promise I'll meet you right over there on the front porch at 8 a.m. Central, so that together we can have yet another illuminated conversation. I tell you every day, and I mean it. Go out, be your best, find your highest self today. I love you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you tomorrow, you guys. Thank you again, Reverend Mary. You killed it. You killed it. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign.